For joining us again for this edition of RIMPAGE Live. Today we have a special topic. Katerina, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling wonderful. Thank you for being here as well. And thank you to all of our friends who are tuning in to watch us live and recorded. We appreciate you so much.
Yes. Yes. Today we're talking about something that I feel you are expert at. And I've had opportunities to witness this firsthand. And so I've learned to trust it in you. And it's always exciting to see it happen with you. And so what we're talking about today is intuition. Intuition. Katerina, please tell us about intuition.
Well, intuition is something that helps us become wiser in life. And I believe that we are all born with access to this wisdom. But some of us are tapped in and tuned into it perhaps more than others. And what I find interesting, Patrick, is that sometimes people speak about themselves as if though they don't have intuition or they don't have strong intuition. So I thought that
Right,
we should shed some light on this subject, because
right,
whether we are aware of it or not, our intuition is very much present and alive within us, and it is what is guiding
oh.
us through life.
So, question real quick. Let's get this out of the way.
Sure.
Do men have intuition?
I think you know the answer to this. Men definitely have intuition. There is no preference between men and women. We all have intuition. Perhaps women are just more naturally using it, and this is sort of
Uh-huh.
pushed us into the front row, if you will.
Okay, okay.
But it is in no way stronger between men and women. We have equally, we are created that way, that we have this guidance present inside us.
Can you can you give us an example? Just for people for whom it's a little bit cloudy and they don't really understand. Can you give us an example of how intuition works?
Sure. I want to make a distinction between when people talk about, they say, I don't trust the voice inside me, right? When they say that, they are talking about that negative chatter that happens in our mind, right? It's
Okay.
here. That chatter
Uh-huh.
happens here, and it's causing doubt sometimes and fear sometimes. It's causing us to have question marks whether we are good enough, whether we can accomplish something or not. It's designed to protect us, it's designed to keep us
Hmm.
safe, to keep us in the same place, and it will raise those thoughts like that, right?
Right.
But we can clear those thoughts like sunshine comes and clears all the
Uh-huh.
fog in the morning, right?
Oh,
we
yes.
can
Yeah.
we can choose not to get attached to those thoughts, just understanding that this is the voice in my head, that is, this is a mental voice here that is
Uh-huh.
telling me these things. This is something different. Intuition is very much subtler, it's deeper inside ourselves, and it's coming in all sorts of ways. Like sometimes it's a mental picture, right?
Hmm.
So we have moments like a little flash, like I already know something. In a moment of decision, we have a
Yes,
flash,
yes.
but it's so subtle that we miss it. We override it. We look the other way.
Yeah.
And what is most dangerous, I think, is that we turn outside ourselves for advice rather than really hearing what the inside voice, that deep inside voice, which is our intuition, is guiding us to do.
Well, when two things you said that really helped me get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's subtle and
Mm-hmm.
it's deeper.
Yes.
It's a subtle, deeper knowing. That
Exactly.
was a question I wanted to ask you. Is
Yes.
intuition like a knowing? Like somehow you know.
Yes. It's a feeling. It's like it can be, sometimes it can be an emotion. It can be like a physical feeling in your gut. You have a premonition about something. That is your intuition. You should not ignore those hints, right? They're hints. Our intuition is
Oh,
very wise, but it's subtle. I think the clearest distinction is that it is subtle. It isn't loud, but it is clear. It is clear. So the voice in our head is loud and persistent, and it's negatively orientated. It's
yes.
telling us all of the things that it's warning us, like, you will trip up here, you will trip up there, or who are you to say this, who are you to think that, and so on. Right? So the voices of doubt and fear, those are here.
Oh,
But
wow.
a gut feeling that is telling us something is something else. And it will always be aligned. So if that is warning us not to go somewhere, we should pay attention. But if that is excited about something, we should also trust it.
Yes.
Yes?
How do you think someone can build trust in that?
That's a really good question, because this is something that has to be practiced, right? So spending time, we live in a noisy world. There is no question about it. And we are constantly exposed to all sorts of noise. And if it isn't physical noise coming from people talking from all sides at us,
Hmm.
it's technology. It is noisy. We are
Yes.
bombarded with information. So
Right.
how can we hear this subtle voice inside us when we live in a noisy world? We can
Turn it
disconnect.
off. You gotta turn a
Absolutely.
lot of that off.
Yes.
Wow.
We can wake up in the morning and have, if we cannot have half an hour for ourselves or 1 hour when we start our day, to sit in silence with our own self, without even many thoughts, just clearing them out, just sitting in appreciation of what is. That will absolutely help us to tune into it.
Casimir, I think some people would be terrified to experience what they would what would
Yes,
come to them if they were to turn all the noise off.
yes,
But I think they also open themselves up to something so wonderful that they've
yes.
never had an
Discover.
opportunity to
Yes,
experience before.
absolutely. And here, if it's scary to disconnect for longer periods of time, we all
Mhm.
need to have and grant access to people for all sorts of emergency situations, for all sorts of safety issues. We need to
Yes.
remain connected to one another, and that is fine. But know that there are options on our devices. There are options, right? We can
Yes.
turn them we can turn them to
Yes.
silent mode.
Yes.
We
Yes.
can just allow few people to have access to us when we are in that space that we are protecting for ourselves, because this is literally us training ourselves and getting tuned into our intuition.
Yes.
And in that space, I would say appreciation is first. So noticing the things around us, suddenly
Mhm.
the world becomes much more than we allow it to be, than we see in this noise that is
Yes.
always constantly present in our life. And in that space, we can then start getting curious. We can start asking the questions, and then hearing for those answers.
Right. I think too, there's something to be said for being open and
Hmm.
allowing, because we sort of
Absolutely.
live our lives in a routine, and
Yes.
and because it's a routine, we can disengage and we're just
Yes.
doing the next thing,
Absolutely.
and and we can put away years just doing the
Yes.
next thing in a
Yes.
routine. But if we're open to intuition, maybe it'll have us take a left turn when we're used to taking a right turn, and you get a
Exactly.
totally different experience there.
There has got to be a lot of trust in your intuition, right? The more faith you demonstrate in your intuition, the greater the results will be, the quicker you will be tuned into it. Your intuition is not designed to steer you the wrong way in life. You will never end up on a path where you say, I wish I never opened this page. I wish I never had this experience in our life. Our intuition
You know,
does not guide us. It's already safe to trust our intuition.
yeah, yeah.
But if
I
you have
think,
to have faith, yeah,
right, right.
yes,
And that it's unfamiliar, it's a knowing, but then we might ask, how does it know? And that's where the faith has to come in. I think something else that's really important to point out is we're not saying never pick up anyone's book that gives instruction on how to do this or that, or never listen to anyone else and only turn to intuition.
yes,
Certainly those things have value. But the thing about
absolutely,
intuition, it's customized for you in that moment. And that's
absolutely,
something no one else can ever give you. No one else could
exactly.
ever know how to tell
Yeah.
you something that is specifically for you, specifically for that moment.
Absolutely. Because trusting your intuition is essentially trusting yourself. So you demonstrate to yourself that you trust
Yes,
yourself,
yes,
right?
yes.
And if you want to make better decisions in your life, if you want to make winning plans in your life, right? You need to tune into your intuition. You will be more effective in your life, right? And you will connect to that wisdom. And people will ask you, how did you become so wise?
Right,
You are
right.
now connected. You're connected to something that is part of all of us, that is bigger than all of us, something that most of the people are denying access to. We all have access to it. And unless
So
we
you're
pin
not,
ourselves off from that power, that source that is present within us, we feel then disconnected and disempowered, right? But when we're connected with that source, we are automatically connected with that deeper wisdom. Our intuition is the portal.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
So you're not always going with what's trendy or
Hmm.
following the trend or going with what's popular. You're going
Yes,
with what is most effective and what is the best match for you. And you know
yes,
what that sounds like? That sounds like an adventure.
exactly.
that, that sounds like an
Exactly.
adventure. I saw a quote. Someone said, "Don't take," and I'm paraphrasing the quote, but they said, "Don't take the path that already exists, but create a new path that others
Mm,
will follow." That
yes.
sounds more like what intuition would have you do, because we're not robots. We're not
No,
all the same person. So one person's solution and their 5-step plan might not turn out the same way for you.
exactly.
But
I think our journey in life, our path has to feel authentic to us. If it doesn't feel authentic to us, we're always finding fault with it because
right, right,
our intuition is trying to course correct us and we're
yeah,
ignoring it. And then we create this inner conflict with our own soul instead of relying on it because it's already built in there to help us to find and align with our truth. Aligning with our truth and with our own mission and purpose in life is primary, is the most important of all of the things in life. If we are not aligned with who we are and why we were born, everything else is going to feel
yeah.
off to us.
You are you are your most authentic self when you're aligned with your
Yes,
truth.
yes,
If there's any misalignment, you're going to feel it.
exactly.
And it's there will be that feeling of discomfort, that inner
Yes.
conflict inside.
Yes.
Wow.
And another thing is your life will not be free of obstacles and challenges, but you will be far more equipped to see them for what they truly are. The invitation for you to grow spiritually into a better and bigger version of yourself. They're an invitation for you to grow into a bigger version of yourself, more evolved version of yourself. So that is a winning path. If that's not a winning path in life, I don't know what is. That has to create results that you want to create in your life. You're planning for it, and you think you are failing, and all of these variety of issues and excuses that you are creating, and you're just spinning the wheels when you do that. Aligning your own truth and trusting it doesn't exclude obstacles on your way, but your
Right.
obstacles are going to feel what they are. They truly are a blessing on your path, and you will then have faith inside you to know that you have enough um, stamina, enough courage, enough ability to deal with any obstacle that is on your path currently, right? So it's not going to overcome you, it is there to challenge you to overcome that, to deal with it, and come to the other side as a next level you. And that's important
Right.
in life. We all need to grow as
Right.
we go
Right.
through life, right?
And to have the feeling that you are living your life.
Yes.
And like I think so many of us have this feeling that we're alive and we're breathing and we're waking up and living a day and going to sleep, but we're not living our life. It's like it's on autopilot
Yes.
in
Yes.
some ways.
And it's sometimes it really it saddens me when I hear that someone says life is just passing year after year. I feel like they're going
Yes.
faster. That's
Yes, yes, I've heard that.
in this predictable path that isn't
Mhm.
challenging us, that we sort of fallen into this complacent place in life.
Wow. And I think too, we need to be prepared for discomfort because growth is not comfortable.
No.
Like by definition, it's a stretching.
Yes, it's
You're
a
becoming
stretch.
more. So
Yes.
you're being challenged to be
Yes.
more, to do more, to know more.
Yes.
So we we need not fear discomfort
Mhm.
or the unknown.
Yes.
Those are good signs.
Absolutely.
Those-
And it doesn't have to feel bad, Patrick,
yeah,
right?
right,
It can
right,
be it
right.
can be challenging, but it can also feel good, and we can train ourselves to actually welcome those challenges, to say,
Yes, yeah,
wow, if life has brought me this, it means that I am ready for this, and I'm
right,
excited to
right.
find out how I will look at the end of this when I have overcome this.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Like I think it was Jim Rohn who said, "Don't wish life were easier, wish
Right.
you were better."
Right.
like
Absolutely.
imagine the child struggling to tie his shoe. He can't wish the whole world were simple enough for him to tie the shoe. He needs to grow and mature and
Yes.
be able to tackle and solve bigger and more complex problems. Yeah, wish you were better.
I love how you tied those two together. Absolutely. Absolutely. Our aim in life is steering us and wanting us to grow into a more evolved version of self, wants us to reach the next level. And if we always have it simple and no challenge in life, there is no growth on that path.
No growth.
No growth on
Wow.
that. Yeah. And that's not, we do not stand still, right? We retreat when
Right.
we do that in life. And life doesn't want us to stay there, and life will constantly remind us. And then it will be very uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than actually being in
Right.
the unknown, right?
Pain of regret.
Yes, yes,
Not
yes,
having lived your life. So it sounds like intuition is a call to us
yes,
to
absolutely.
like come this way, go for the adventure.
Exactly, exactly.
Subtle call.
It's not difficult to hear what your inner wisdom
Mhm.
has to say. Just imagine that you are already wise. It's just that you haven't been answering those calls. So those calls were
Yes,
coming in, but you have been
yes, yes.
ignoring them. So from now on, maybe try to switch off the outside world and
Mhm.
look for those opportunities to tune more into your inner world. So go
Yes,
for a walk, meditate. When you wake up in the morning, like those parts of your day, safeguard part of your day before you go to sleep and when you just wake up in the morning. Save them for
Oh, yes.
appreciation, for gratitude, for noticing what is already present in your life, for asking those bigger questions from yourself. Don't look
Yes.
outside, look within. And just save like 5 to 10 minutes each day, right? And do that for a week. And then post in the
Yeah.
comments how you feel. In 1 week's time, you will notice the difference. If you, from now, between now and next Monday, if you give yourself 5 to 10 minutes, both before you go to bed, to switch everything else off, the outside world, right?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
don't mean just outside world, but wherever you are looking outside yourself for
Mhm.
approval, for permission, for validation, switch those off.
Spend time with yourself.
Yes. Yes. And let's
Time
see
with yourself.
how it feels. Within 1 week, you to be much more aligned with your intuition. And your intuition is designed absolutely to keep you on the right path for you, on your
Yeah. Yes. I have this picture as I'm listening to you of a person in the passenger seat of a car, and the car is just driving all over the place. That car is his life,
yes.
but he's not in the driver's seat. So who
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
He's just going to be taken all over the place. If we
exactly.
will practice what you have just prescribed, we put ourselves back in the driver's seat,
Hmm.
and now we can choose. We can decide.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because our intuition is beautiful, and we can lean into our intuition. We can absolutely trust it with big decisions in our life. And if we cannot trust it with the smallest of decisions, then we're never going to lean into it. And the only winning path in life is our own path. So the path has to be authentic. And if you want to be um, completely safe that you are on the right path for yourself, you have to lean on your inner guidance. And what better way to navigate you than this thing that is designed to keep you aligned with it, which is your intuition.
It was given to you. You
Absolutely.
already have it. It's already working. It's already trying to get your attention.
Yes,
We just
yes.
need to
It
tune
doesn't
in.
matter whether you're a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. It really doesn't matter at all. You
And
all
I
have
think,
it. We all have it as human beings.
and it's trying to carry us to fulfillment.
Yes,
We
yes,
can have we can reach success, but
yes.
what we really want is fulfillment.
Exactly.
Right.
Fulfillment isn't guaranteed. You can follow the right steps, you can follow a certain prescribed path in life and reach success, but success will not guarantee fulfillment,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
And I think in our final moments, when we're reflecting on our lives, we want to be able to say we lived a fulfilled life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
take some bravery, take some courage.
Yes. Yes, yes,
um,
yes. And it's fun. It's fun. It does take
yes.
being
Yeah.
being courageous, but it is also more fun. It's more creative way of looking at life. It's a lighter way of approaching life. And life is directing us
Yeah.
not to take it too seriously. Because when we
Right. Right.
seriously, something happens that reminds us, like, oh, oof, I made a fool out of myself there, right? So you cannot. Life doesn't allow you to stay serious for too long.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So
So
enjoy it. Wow. Thank you for this talk. This was beautiful.
this is important one. I also feel that we miss this important part that is our intuition, and far too many conversations I have where people think that somebody has more of it than someone
Uh-huh.
else, but no, we all have equal access to it. There is equal amount of power, greatness available to all of us. It's just that some of us maybe have practiced it more and it feels
Right.
like we're
Right.
more at ease with it. But you have access to this wisdom. You have access to staying aligned to your own winning path in life. And your path is the only winning path. You have to be on your
Excellent.
path, right?
Excellent. Yes.
Mm.
And once again, what we've talked about today, we can start right now and it costs nothing.
It costs nothing. Absolutely. We're here to empower you, to invite you to empower yourselves, because it's not us who are empowering you. It is you who are going to take your life into your own hands.
Right,
How
right,
wonderful is that?
right.
Mm.
I guess you could say it takes some bravery to get out of the passenger seat and walk around to the driver's seat of your life and take charge and start driving.
Yes, it's more fun that way, right?
Well, for those
Like,
of you who are watching, please tell us how this is helping you.
mhm.
Tell us what thoughts it inspires inside of you, and maybe we can start a conversation around it. But thank
Yes.
you for watching. Thank
Yes.
you.
We love all of these conversations that are unfolding out of these talks. And we're present on many platforms. So you can be catching us live on LinkedIn and YouTube, but we're also present on Facebook. So if you want to join us and watch us live, then please follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube. We have all the details for you right there in the description of this live. And we will be back next Monday for more of these talks. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Always enjoyable. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.